Alrighty, good little bit afternoon. Let's get started here. I've gotten everything posted, I think, so we're good to go. It's a little bit dark and rainy outside, so CATCAM is on, but you can't really see anything, so it is what it is. So I need to figure out, let's see. I need to figure out, I had to reset broadcast last time because it was, it got a new version, so I had to, in effect, remember all my settings from before. So I was just testing the, I didn't remember that I had gain or whatever on. I was gonna say, wait a minute. All right, let's see. So that was summer. That was summer. That was a good summer one. That was a good summer one. I think I could drag them in here if I actually just, instead of, that might make it a little bit heavier though. One of my favorites was the 2023 ice cream. I'll bring that in. And then last year was strawberries. Maybe a pizza party, because it's all Tuxie pizza theme this year at San Diego. I did try to bring Coconut into stream today, but she grabbed onto her cat tower with both paws as I tried to pick her up, and I was like, okay, fair enough, fair enough. I will not try to force the move. I'm glad I thought about that. I'm gonna do a nice little pizza party theme. Whoops, just want to move you. So once I get that done, I probably will just be able to get the line art. I need to make these files for my current pin designs, and I've got to get those into production like yesterday. So that's what we will be doing after that. I need to open up the original, let's see. Did I move it already? Spring, summer, stamp extras. No, I already moved the spring book panels. So let's go over here. Oh, all right. Well, just keep on scrolling. There you are. Let's open this up so I can grab my stuff. Oh, that's why it's off. I made this the wrong size. All right, so now it should be right. There we go. I can hide that info bit and get back over here. And then I don't need, well, I can show this. I have, this is what I did for spring. So what would a good summer picnic pizza party be like? Nope. What's this? Whoops. All right, let's see. Kind of like the idea I had about Tuxie in a pizzeria, tossing his little slice here. And maybe I can have a floof. Let's explore this a little bit. Make it smaller because I don't want to have the pizza toss be in the line of the info. Like, no, we need it for the pie. I can do his apron here. And maybe piles of pizza boxes over here. Just in the background. Maybe we'll do the pizza roller. The little spikies. Piles of flour. I can put cheese and it'll be kind of rolled out. This is a long pizza. I can probably change that to be a smaller pizza. And maybe some jars here, or some like some buckets of like cheese and other things that they put on pizzas, maybe. Sharon, hello, happy Tuesday. Is it? No, you say Thursday. I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's not Thursday yet. It can't be Thursday yet. I hope you're having a good start to the week. Wishful thinking. Oh no, does that mean it's been a long week already? Really rainy here. We had flooding yesterday, and I went out. I was looking and I was like, ooh, I probably need to get out and go to the I usually do grocery shopping on Monday, and then I do a small run on Friday. And I was looking at the weather and I was like, it's gonna flood and it's gonna pour. So I was able to get out and get that done, because right as I went into HEB, the sky opened up and it was coming down and the parking lot was underwater. And so I was able to get out and back home in time. But there are certain parts of the street, they always flood, and they were already backed up. And but it looks like the bayous have been able to handle everything so far. I think they say the rain is supposed to be done today. I think we're gonna warm up and then, back to programming as usual. Long week so far, back to heavy lifting projects in my collections. This time it's pulling books off shelves, swapping out shelves, dusting the shelves, and putting them back. Oh gosh. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I get that, because that kind of feels like my office cleaning project. Like when I do a deep clean, it's everything comes off, everything gets wiped down, everything gets put back. And of course you gotta, well, in my office's case, in my books, I try to do a culling and, you know, get rid of ones that I don't look at anymore. But yeah, I hope you have some good tunes, or you can, you know, kind of whistle as you work, help it along. And definitely relaxing later with your crochet projects. I think that's something to look forward to. Like if I lift this shelf, get 30 minutes, 30 extra minutes. You gotta give yourself little bits like that. I kind of do that with my file work. Like if you get this done, you can go, you know, that'll be good, so I can, you know, sit and read or sit and play a game or do whatever. You know, that's my reward for, you know, chugging through and getting XYZ files. File prep is kind of the worst because it's very ticky-tacky, like what I'm doing. So this is what I prepare for when I send enamel pins to the factory. I pick my Pantones, I, you know, lay out the details, do hard line art, and then also an example of what I want with the metal finish. So it's a task, and it's just, you know, you just gotta slug your way through it. But I've got to do that for these now. And I've got to decide which ones I want, because, I mean, although I did 6 last year, I could do 6 this year. I could do these. My pod is mostly chill music right now, so not a lot of energy. Crafting does help when my hands are up to it. Metal shelves can lead to soreness. Oh, I bet. Like with the grip, yeah. Especially, you know, the shelves that I build for the booth, they have set up this. Getting them ready and getting them prepped is like the worst. So you get them from IKEA, and they have I forget the name of the actual system, but it has the metal brackets. Well, they used to be metal brackets, they're plastic or something now, on the edges, and then inside those tucked are the metal pins that you stick into the posts, and then you snap your shelf down. Getting those stupid pins out, it just kills my fingers, because you literally have to dig them from these metal tabs. And so I finally found this little hook tool that helps, but still it's such a tedious process. But once all the pins are out, you know, things are a lot easier. But oh, I'm glad you like those designs. Yeah, no, I think Coffee Beans, my precious, is going to be cute. I think this guy is going to be a sleeper. I hope he's going to be a sleeper and popular. I haven't decided. Gold. I'm leaning towards gold, because that would kind of fit with the pizza and the crust. This one could be nice silver. Tea time, probably silver. Snacks, gold. Tuxie, probably silver since he's gray. And I haven't decided on Coffee Beans. Could do gold to offset and kind of, you know, lean into the my precious idea. But anyway, let's get this going. I made a casserole last night. That was nice. I kind of turned to cooking like that, you know. It's a project with a definitive time frame, beginning, end, and you get your result in that it either tastes like poo or it tastes wonderful. You either want to have the leftovers or you debate putting the leftovers in the bin. So I did a tuna noodle casserole last night, and it turned out really good. I added, let's see, I was curious, so I just went online and did I just looked through a couple of recipes and I kind of picked out some of the ideas that I liked. I had some leftover mushrooms, and this one recipe called for like the canned mushrooms. I didn't have those, but I had leftover fresh ones. And I thought, well, you know, maybe just saute those up a little bit, get them soft, because they won't cook nearly as, you know, they won't cook as much as they should you just put it in for like 20 minutes or something, when you actually put everything together and put it in the oven. So I sauteed those, added them in, and that was a super duper modification. I think I'm gonna do that again next time and maybe add more mushrooms, but maybe chop them up a little bit, because there were some big chunks, but I didn't mind those big chunks, but it just was good. I did that. I also mixed a little leftover, like super grated parm I had in with the breadcrumb topping. That was good too. That worked out super well as well. So I had a nice little bit of cooking I did yesterday. I started rewatching The Hunger Games again. Such a good show. I don't think I've watched Catching Fire the most because I like that one the best. The first one, I don't think, maybe several times I've come back in the middle of it or something, or started like inside the first 15-20 minutes, because I was watching last night and I did not remember the first like 10-ish minutes of the movie. I'm like, has it really been that long? I didn't think it was that long. I have to admit, I've never watched the movies nor read the books. I enjoyed them. I also enjoyed, though, Battle Royale, and a lot of people say that she got a lot of her inspiration from that. But, I mean, ideas can hit two people. I mean, I don't know. They're both good books. They're both, well, series for one, but they're fundamentally a little different in certain ways, and but they're also both very violent. So if you don't like that, then yeah, definitely pick something else. But I don't know. I kind of like I always like the dystopian sci-fi, that type. I need to let's go ahead and do his bow first. that okay that it's going to cover his... Yeah, I think that's cute. It's all right if it covers his stripes. It's not a big deal. I saw a really cute, why is that looking like that? I feel like something's amiss with Illustrator right now. I watched a cute, it was a Hallmark channel from 2023, maybe? It was a cute one where the love interest, she's like a seamstress or designer, but she's kind of working for this lady that is stealing all of her ideas and credit for them, and the prince is invited over. I don't even know what the pretense for his visit is, but the studio she works for is hired to design the outfits for this family that's hosting. And so there's the, the romance, the love interest with that. But I just thought it was so funny because this design studio, I don't think, and I was looking, I didn't see a single sewing machine on this set. I saw maybe an embroidery machine, maybe. And then they're all just sitting around these fold out tables, like hand stitching. And I'm like, in what world, in what design house would this be the case? Where are the sewing machines? Where is the actual, they'll pin like, fabric on a dummy or something. And then she's like drawing the fashion illustration sketches, and they were so bad. They look like they were drawn by like an 8-year-old. It was so horribly bad. And there was no detail. There was no, like usually when you see fashion illustration, you've got, details of the actual dress and what's going down. This was like, there was one that I just laughed. It was like, it was literally something like this. Very thick lines colored in red. And that was one of the illustrations. But she's a genius designer. So yeah, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief there. But it was a cute show. I get sewing some stuff by hand, but seriously, in those drawings out. Yeah, no, it what? Sorry, YouTube translated your oi to a hey. Apparently it doesn't think I can read oi. All right. but yeah, so I thought that was funny. Some of those are really cute, but some of them I'm just like, how did these people get cast? Because there's no chemistry. And like for Hallmark movies, chemistry is like that's you need that. That's like ingredient number 1. That's flour in the bread. And this was good. They had better chemistry, but there was one I watched recently, and it was set in like not Vale, but like a skiing town, something like that. And the main love interest, she was like a former band lead singer, and she was just kind of struggling. And then it was actually a very, very cute premise. She kind of does a Mrs. Doubtfire and dresses up as Santa because that's the only job she can get. And so she's playing Santa, and she's kind of the hijinks with that, but they just had no chemistry, the two, because like the love interest, I guess, was like the not the manager, but like the owner, the son's owner of whatever like department store was hiring Santa. I just, how can you miss on that? That's like your first job as a casting director. But it was cute otherwise, and I enjoyed it because it was such a cute premise, and they really actually did it pretty well. It's just, I don't know, it's just some, I guess some actors and actresses just don't have that. But they did better on this one. I think one of my favorites recently, it was really cute, and I don't remember who the actress was, but I think it's called The Wrong Paris. So she is trying to get to art school, and she auditions for like this reality TV show that's like, you know, go to Paris, but it's Paris, Texas. And so I thought that was adorable and cute. I would recommend that one if you're looking for a good little, very light bit of entertainment. I'm gonna make those a little longer, maybe. Oop. Something's up with Illustrator today, I think. Maybe he's just grumpy. Let's make the apron here. I'll have the apron come down like this. Yeah. And then maybe his coat, oops, his coat can be his jacket or whatever it is he's wearing. That maybe? Let me see, what else do I have news-wise? Tuxie is shipped. He actually, I'll get an update. So on the plushie shipments, those are interesting because so they're coming from overseas. I get a tracking number, but the tracking number really doesn't start working until it hits the shore. And so that is scheduled to be about July 1st-ish, somewhere around there. But the tricky thing is, there have been, I think, at least, I know last year, yeah, and there was a year before that, I think. I was checking the tracking number, like at the beginning of each week, I'd check it, okay, and then maybe, you know, at the end of the week, I check it or whatever. And then usually, because it's hitting on the West Coast, so from there to Houston, it takes a couple days, right? No, because all of a sudden I checked it on Monday, then all of a sudden it was showing up on Wednesday. There's nothing on Monday, and it was like the tracking was not updated until the things had landed in Houston, and then it was like a day before they landed on the doorstep. And so now I'm neurotic, and I'm always I'm like checking every other day. I'm like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to check this tracking number to make sure, because it's like, I think 10 boxes. Yeah, so I don't want those sitting outside just, you know, piling up. And it's just, yeah. But it's kind of crazy how, you know, in this world of technology, you still have things like that happen. Just kind of always have to be thinking about that and prepared. don't really like how big and fluffy that bow is. Hopefully Tuxie arrives quickly and safely. Yes, indeed. I hope so too. Crossing my fingers. Whoops. And I just got my design sent over to t-shirt printer, so she's getting me my quotes there, and then that should be good to go. I've got everything ready to start the product actually shipping out to her from the warehouse. Oh my god, stickers. That's okay. That's a 2-day turnaround. At least for the sticker sheets. I need to get those going too, though. I know I was sitting here thinking I know there's something I've forgotten. And sure enough, there it is. I don't know if you were you're here when I was talking about it, but I did try to get Coco in on her pad today. But when I went to lift her off her cat tree, she hugged the main post and was just giving me this look. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. You can stay. I tried to force the issue and she was like, no. The answer is no. All right. Yeah, exactly. Don't wanna. Not today. You're just gonna have to make better content and not use me as clickbait. I kind of want to give him a little stripy shirt design like I did on the pizzeria. I just thought about it though, a cat that owns a pizzeria. I mean, what do you do about shedding and fur in the food? I guess it's something that's just commonplace in a town that is populated by animals. Just ignore that little detail, right? Is shedding a thing in Cozy Town? You know what? I don't know. I've never thought about it. Some of those details are important. I mean, and I've got to create this brand Bible soon, and I'm going to have to start answering these questions, and I'm going to actually have to get the map out and down on a piece of paper, because I know generally, like, you know, this house is across from this house and down from this house, and then there's the main town square and, you know, all of that, but what does it really look like in an overview map? I remember I had this this friend in high school, well, junior high and high school. We were like writing buddies, And I was all into the writing, but he was into like what's the Shannara that author that does the Shannara books. That got him into drawing maps. So he would draw all of these fantasy maps, and then he'd give me the map. And it's like, okay, what story can we make with this map? And I'm like, I don't know, it's a map. But eventually he started writing his own stuff, and then we just kind of would critique and note. But it was just kind of funny, and that reminded me of that, because I was always kind of fascinated at, I mean, but was it cartography? That I can understand how you would be really interested into that, because there are a lot of things to think about, and you know how terrains would inform who settles there, and you know that type of thing, and that can kind of define a kingdom, and the from there the struggles and the, you know, the wars or whatever that they're going through, especially like in fantasy novels, because well, let's look at Game of Thrones. That was all, you know, pivoting around this northern wall that's keeping the, you know, the zombies away. And so that was the crux of it, was this, you know, thing on the map that had, how did that even happen? How did they form the wall? I don't think I remember. I didn't read the books, I just watched the series. I kind of need to make the pizza thinner. You just have it. No, it needs to be back like a figure 8 like the other one was. It was kind of, I did that. Something like that. I'll go ahead and group Tuxie, because I have a feeling I will probably do adjustments on size and orientation here. So I don't think that, I think I'm moving into the info area right now, but I could be. We shall see. Okay. I've got to harass myself to paint because I will not leave this until the last week up to Comic-Con. I have to paint traditional pieces for my originals, and I've got to start that like now because I don't want to have no pieces because I didn't do Inktober this last year, and that's where I would typically use, or rather get most of my pieces from that I'd put in my originals folder. I feel like it's somehow gotten worse with my anchor points here. Wonder if it was this update that happened with Windows. I think I've got another one that I need to deal with, but don't really want to. Updates have a way of breaking things, to say the least. It's doing that. Get in here and do some shading.
I'm not sure if this is how I want to do it or not. Because I want to show like a slight curve and lift on this dough. I guess that'll do, and then I can kind of go in here like this. I got a tremendous sunset picture last night, and because sometimes I get like, I'll glance over and I can see just the tips of these like fiery clouds over the roof, and I saw that and I was like, oh damn. And so I ran out, and sometimes you get a really good view and I don't have to go outside on the street, but this was an on the street picture, and it had those fiery reds, it had deep purples, it had the blue of the sky, and it was all kind of just trailing out. And then it had, of course, been raining all day, so the sidewalk was wet. And this particular patch of sidewalk had puddles on it, and so it had this fiery red pink reflection of the sky in the sidewalk. And so I didn't notice that really in the first pictures I took, but then I did, and I was like, oh shoot. So I stood back a little bit and I got more of that in the frame. And then my camera is not the best on my phone, but compare it to like, what, 10, 15 years ago? I would never, I remember the argument I had with myself, when I saw people start to take product photography with their phones. I'm like, I would never do that. That's so low quality. But like, that's all I use now. So, but like for moon photography and things far away, it kind of sucks. It's like, it's an iPhone 15. And I've seen far better cameras on other models, but yeah, just the convenience of having that in your pocket, and when you're able to just grab it and capture these moments that they're so spontaneous is pretty cool. But I've learned that it doesn't quite capture the feeling that you get when you're standing out there, that you look back at the picture and like, oh, that's actually kind of humdrum. And I figured out a nice little set of adjustments on the different levels that can really pull some of those colors back out and make the pictures closer to what was actually there. It's kind of crazy that you taking a picture of something that's actually there, but the processing and stuff, I always feel like it's a little bleached. Not bleached, but desaturated. It's maybe a good word. I don't know. So I did a little bit of editing on it, and it just came out so pretty. Every now and again, I get reminded of how much I loved photography. I took classes in high school. We actually had a dark room, and it was I don't know what she had over the principal, but Miss Laskowski, when they built out that high school, she got her dark room of her dreams. And it was how many heads were on
I think at least 3 or 4 on each side of the room, and in the middle was your rinsing basin. It was like a trough. It was a table that had channels of water around it, that always free-flowing water, and then the developer stations were there. And then they had a dark room where you could go to take your film out of the canister and roll it if you didn't want to use these little baggy things. So you had 2 options. And I didn't really understand the people who chose to do the bag option, because you can't see your hands anyway. And so I always would just go in the dark room and just feel. I mean, I would sometimes even just close my eyes and I would have more success doing it that way. But you take the film out of the canister and roll it into the developer spool. And then that goes in another jar that's light fast. And then you dump in the chemicals to do all of your development stuff on it. But it had that in there, and it had a kind of spinning door that you spun it around, and it always kept the dark room in the dark. And so it had like a hole, and then you spun it around when you were inside, and then you exited. And then on each side of that door, there were rinsing basins that had doors on them. You'd lift and you'd put your prints inside, and it would circulate in the water to rinse off all of the developer and all of that stuff. And you'd wash them probably for at least 10 to 15 minutes before you'd go out and take them out from the other side, which had a reciprocal. And then somehow that whole thing, how was it that was light fast? I think that was just on the honor system. You didn't, well, no, because if there was some way that kept light from coming into the darkroom when someone was putting prints in on the darkroom side versus taking them out on the other side. But hey, Ashwin, welcome to the stream. But yeah, it's moments like that remind me how much I enjoyed it. And it kind of, sometimes I wonder, and I think that, you know, I've seen some of these cameras that there's this one, it's a Fujifilm, and I've seen a few people remark that it's like the camera that got them back into photography. It's a digital camera, but it's also like 45 or something megapixels, but it has controls like an old SLR would. And I had a DSLR. It was a Nikon. I still have it. It's somewhere. It's in storage because it's just not, it's like 800, it's like 8 megapixels or something. It's a D800, I want to say. I can't remember what it was. But that thing was a lot of fun, but it was also, it was a lot of work and to tote around, and you have this giant hulking camera. And this one I'm just kind of flirting with. It's billed a little bit as like a traveler's camera. Like you can take it on with you as you're going to a hike, and it's not really that cumbersome. It's kind of like a happy medium between having just your phone, but having an actual DSLR with you. And I actually don't know if it's I think it's an optical. I don't think the lens is actually a reflective lens, but I'd have to investigate more. But moments like that, I'm like, that would be nice. Maybe if we have a really, really, really good San Diego, I can scrape my little savings together and get it. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm doing this right. These kind of, I think it's more like spikes on a shoe. Like that. I don't like the shape of that one. I'll use that. Hey, Kawaii Neko. Oh, we have some translation going on. Ohayo! Ohayo gozaimasu! What do I do to make it stop translating? Because I don't want YouTube to translate for me. Just let people say timestamps, reactions. Where is the stop trying to translate for me YouTube button? I guess it's whatever. I can always just hover. That's another thing. I got out my DS Lite and I've been playing some of my old games. One of them I had a Japanese language coach. It'd be worth it to start working on that again. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, but doing the apps on the phone, there's always some sort of a... I did try that. I tried... Was it Duolingo or was it something else? I tried one of them and it was cool, but I felt like the Mooch plan, the freebie plan, was just a little bit too low because you just get going. Well, I guess for their purposes, it's just right because you get going and you're excited to do the exercises and learn, and then you run out of, you know, daily credits and allowances. So... this thing need to be shorter. I feel like it might need to be shorter. Omari! Omar. I always string. How are you? I'm doing all right. Energy's still a little low. Still trying to bounce back. But we'll get there. Again, it might be nice to have just quiet live streams. I don't even know, because I haven't been on Twitch in ages, what the current taste is. People like. highly, all them bouncy, Genki live streams. Let's see, is this roller in the right? Actually, I think I kind of got that. Maybe, okay, maybe. It kind of still is looking a little like poo, but not as bad as it could be. I feel like this is a little bit lacking. Maybe like more like, maybe this needs to be bigger. Because this is the little dooley dad that goes in the middle that the thing spins around. You use the handle. Maybe the handle needs to be tipped a little more. Does the handle need to be bigger? The handle need to be like over here? No. I think I'm right where the handle is. All right, I'll just kind of leave it like that. For now, unless I look at it and decide it looks like poo after all. Then we can adjust. We can always adjust the poo factor. I want to keep these two separate. Make it easier to adjust the poo factor. Have these two pieces not together necessarily. Go. It's 2 midnight here. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for stopping by, Koi Nickel. Ashwin, oh my goodness. Midnight. Wow. Time for me to head about back to my shelves. Have a great rest. Oh, take care, Sharon. Good luck. May the shelves be light and the dusting be minimal. The need for dusting be minimal. I'm drawing using a drawing pad. It's a Cintiq 24 Pro. And I've had it since 2019, September-ish, somewhere around there. I think there needs to be a bag of cheese. I like my flour on the desktop here, but tabletop, countertop. But I feel like I need some cheese. I'm gonna put my flour over here, and I'm gonna put out some cheese. Let's just do a kind of big old bag of cheese. Open. We're gonna grab this cheese. That's a little bit too. Let's make it a little bit more respectable bag of cheese. Ancient. Aren't we all? Aren't we all ancient? I am ancient, but that's okay. Whoops. I want it just to be floppy, just the right amount. The stickers on your story were nice, but I could only find one. Okay, so okay, so when you put in the sticker search engine, let me go over here. So like I'm on create and like I'm on kind of this Instagram. You go up here and it's BEKYOOT. And you should, oh shoot, No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show all of them. You should see all of these. Though I don't know if it was a misspelling or if I wasn't clear on my instruction, but it's just the name Be Cute, and it should show how many are there. These are almost like 40. It's 4 onto lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines. So that's at least 40 stickers should show up. Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm like, no, I was very, very intentional when I uploaded those to Jiffy and did the tags. Yeah. You gotta switch over to stickers. Yes, and actually that's my bad because I only was focused on the stickers, so those are all transparent. I can do uploads as regular GIFs for the others as well, and it of course will double my library, but yes, I will post GIFs as well. I just have to go back, get all my files out, and work on it. And I have other ones that I want to make. I'm gonna group my cheese bag. I'm not gonna see this, but maybe we will. Maybe we'll see elements of it. I don't like that. All right, so let's do shredded cheese. So shredded cheese is like, it can be kind of this, but I do want the shredded cheese tops to. Then I would comment GIFs on the posts and the reels. Okay, I will make you a promise, Ashwin. I will get those uploaded. I've got 40 of them to go back and get the files and re-export. So the old ones might be a little bit longer in being converted, but I will get, or unless I could do an upload, I wonder if it might just be easier for me to upload the GIF itself into my animation program, extract the frames, and just drop a background, then re-export using Procreate Dreams. That could possibly work. And that might be less work than me finding the Photoshop file. That might work. I'll examine what I can do, but I know I need to add the GIF versions of them all. And I do have other ones that I want to make as well. I had notes because I was pulling numbers for another thing that I had to make, and I was in my Jiffy dashboard, and you get a good amount of analytics in there. And they also have, this is another thing. So a friend of mine was helping me out in Vegas, and he was telling me about how to kind of work TikTok. And he showed me how to search, creator insights, and then you get to the content gap tab, and it's essentially TikTok telling you what it needs to, where there's gaps in content, where people are searching but they're not finding a lot. So here are these topics, and if you make something with this, we will supposedly show it more because there is a need to be filled. So they have those metrics on Jiffy. And so I was writing down a couple of them that I thought could be easy ones to tag for, like, they were simple. There's like good night and not a thank you, but there were a couple others that I was like, ooh, I can totally see what I would do for that. And I could make that maybe in an hour or two. So kind of fun to make kind of plastic wrap because it's you illustrate it by kind of like water, by reflections and what's around it, because it doesn't really have as many discernible edges. All right, that's enough of the cheese bag. Let's see, what else do we need on this table where we're making pizza? I need probably a pizza paddle. Maybe there should be a pizza paddle over here, just the edge of it. I'm gonna come in and make this piece of the pizza paddle maybe 40%. That way you're looking through the bag. Can I suggest a thing? Of course. Please do. What else can I put on this pizza making adventure here? I've got cheese, I've got my dough, I've got toppings here that you can kind of see. I kind of want to put like let's do a tomato or something. I'll just do the top of a tomato sticking out, like maybe it's resting against the edge of that topping buffet. On social media, you should custom post like floof in the back rooms, for example, or an ongoing trend. Boost your page probably and give you a higher probability of interaction. Floof in the back rooms, for example? Floof in the back rooms. So you mean like... I admit I do not go on TikTok. I go on Instagram a lot more, so that's where I get... Well, and sometimes YouTube Shorts. I see trends on those. And I don't go on TikTok as much, to my detriment, but... Well, to be cute's detriment, really, but... Would that be like... Are you thinking like the character plushies doing something? Like they're partying in the back room of the office? Or... Hey Dee, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing all right today. I feel like this pizza is not... Let's see, let's make this angle a little bit more. Should we move the pizza up here? I feel like this pizza needs help. This pizza needs a pan? No, the pizza is going to go into the pizza oven. Something like that. Okay. I'll think about that. I'm going to kind of try and see if I can find examples of that trend. Having a tough time with my art business lately. Uh-oh. Is there anything that you need? Well, I offer advice as much as I can, but anything you want to get off your chesty, go ahead and post in chat. I understand how difficult it can be at times. I'm using my personal YouTube account at the moment. That's why things are different on this page. Oh, okay. Wish human art's more valued and having skills to share it in a way that supports others. Oh, I hear ya. And you know, I don't think that, certainly not in the algorithm that I'm seeing, but I follow a lot of artists, and like regular traditional artists or vector artists, digital artists, and human art is highly valued. They're very, very much against AI art. So I think, if I may make a suggestion, look for the content you want to see more of. Look for people valuing art and human art, and feed your mind that instead of, and I know it's so easy because those posts pop up all the time, and you know, the video stuff is getting to the point where I honestly can't tell. I mean, I really have to study it and find that little uncanny valley glimmering edge to some of these AI videos that, oh shoot, this was AI and I almost thought it was real. And it's frustrating too, because, you know, some of the things are really funny and cool, but I mean, like the cat videos that they've started to make, in some of the animal videos, you know, because real animals would never do that. And I don't know, you gotta be aware and not let the machine get the better of you, because the only power it has is what you give it. And so if you sit there and just doom scroll through all these videos and you see AI bros that are just like, you know, I'm an artist now and look at what I've made with all of this, but they couldn't, you know, draw a stick figure if you handed them a crayon and a piece of paper. You've got to feed your mind better things, and you've got to control what you put into it, just like you control what you put into your mouth and your body. I mean, if you eat donuts every day, you're going to get donut results. So I don't know if that really helps at all, but I know it's frustrating, and I don't want to sound dismissive, but I've fallen into that trap too. Oh, Omar, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's so easy, and that's the thing though. They want to trap you. They want to get you addicted to this scroll, uh, and I've really tried to limit my doom scrolling, or even picking it up to look. And I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna put like a checkpoint. Like if I see something, like if I see the same joke 3 times in a row, I'm logging out. Or if I see, because that's how you know you're in a doom scroll, because it recognizes you're reacting to certain content and it's feeding you more. So, how trends go, it often tries to feed you the same thing again and again. So if you are aware of what's happening, you can control it. But yeah, art live streams are helpful there because you see people doing it in real time and struggling in real time, in my case. Alright, let's save since I haven't saved in forever. Alright, I need to draw some pizza boxes and maybe a pizza oven back here. I'm just going to do the edge of it. Yeah, I like these little guys. Fun to see how much emotion you can get into just very simple shapes. That is not a pizza box. That is a squished pizza box. Let's try that again. There we go. I went into Domino's once to pick up some pizza, and it was kind of right at the edge of rush hour, and they had just mountains of pizza boxes already assembled, ready to go. And the one that I go to is a relatively newer build, and so they have, in effect, an open kitchen where there's a little window. Actually, it's open, but there's a little kind of, guard window, plastic window. You can watch, and it looks out to the area where they're doing the dough. And then kind of back over here, you see the prep lines. And I was waiting. I actually arrived pretty early, so I was just waiting and watching one time, and they roll these balls of dough out of the fridge in these giant kind of Tupperware containers, and and some of them are on racks, so they just take it off one by one, and it's like just this assembly line. And then they have this mound of, I guess it smells like garlic, seasoning that they're rolling the dough in as they're rolling it out and prepping it for the pan sheets that then go to the assembly line. And it's so neat to see that stuff in action for me. One thing I don't really understand is how that pizza tracker thing works. So I guess you have a ticket that goes with the pie and it gets scanned or something when it travels from station to station. That's the only thing that I can guess, because I'm guessing it's scanned and then it goes, you know, to the prep table, and then it goes to the oven and it's scanned again, and then once it comes out of the oven it's scanned. But granted, I have not actually paid attention to watch for it, but I feel like it's something I would have noticed if I was observing. That they're constantly scanning these tickets. All right, so I've got that in a group. Let's, oh, well, goodness me. Oh, that's all right. It's all right. I don't usually take things out. Oh, I did group everything, didn't I? All right, well, let's just put it in the group with everything else. There we go. Problem solved. All right, now I need to do a pizza oven. Guess we're gonna have to do a chimney, right? I need to look at a picture of a pizza oven, but I'm gonna assume there's a chimney. And oh, this is gonna be an opportunity for some lighting. The CATCAM is vibrating, probably because I'm shaking my desk. Because it's attached to this, I have a shelf right here, and this CATCAM is on a gooseneck clamp that I can position and move wherever I need it to be. So that's probably why. I want to make this. How is the weather there? Is it hot? Oh, unfortunately so. It says 80 degrees right now, which, let me do my conversion here. So, about 26.6 Celsius. That's low. It feels like probably 35. I mean, it's humid and sticky and just ugh. And we are getting rain, so it may have blown some of the humidity out, but let's consult the weather and see what it actually says. Lots of rain. Ooh, wow, lots of rain. Yikes. Yeah, up in the 90s. Humidity feels like 82. Can't see a lot. 85% humidity. Yeah. Here it's 113. Oh, that sounds like Phoenix weather. That's what my sister's in. It's like hundreds, 115 during the day. That might be a little too, and it's 80 right now, like in the night. Oh gosh. Do you get like, typically here there's a wind that blows through right at sunset and it takes out a little bit of that humidity. So it drops a little bit. I don't know if that's just here. It's not really something I've noticed elsewhere, but then again, I haven't really been paying attention, so I just know that it's a lot easier if you want to go for a walk. You do it closer to sunset. Otherwise, you're putting your life in your own hands. You're taking your life and risking it. I don't even know if pizza ovens are bricked like this, but whatever. It's my drawing. I can do what I want. You know, I'm gonna have some nice lighting effects behind here. Maybe another counter or something. Better if it was actually down to counter height. One of these guys would use it. Something like that, maybe? Nova, hello, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How's your drawing been going lately? It's been amazing, wonderful. So happy to hear that. Have you seen my Street Fighter art? I was coloring it with 3 types of coloring materials. Ooh, no, I have not. Can you post a link? I'll take a look. I am assuming that there is light flaring out from this oven. So lines are going to be lighter where there's a lot more light, but I also have this big thing here and it needs to be, or rather have depth. And I'm going to try and make it look cool without messing the whole thing up, if it's possible. And I also really don't want to have a bunch of lines interfering with my pizza toss, so I'll figure that out maybe. So there's the background. I've got that there. Oh, I forgot. I did put that pizza paddle here. So you need to go there. Let's go ahead and trim. Well, I'm not going to trim Tuxie yet because I think I can take out this sketch. Oops, wrong way. There we go. So what I'm making is a info panel that I put at the end of my repost for Instagram. I change it up every season. So this was 23. Was it 23 or 24s? Yes, it was 23. I did I can't even see it because I'm blocking it. There we go. Ice cream, which was wonderful. My favorite floof was this one here because he got a big waffle cone bowl of ice cream. And then last year, because I was coming out with the strawberry Momo cheat, which you see on the kitty cam, I did a strawberry theme for the summer. So in keeping with that, I'm doing a pizzeria theme for this summer since it's Tuxie's Pizza Summer. And I think that'll be fun. I think this will be nice. And maybe, I think I want to add, I'm going to do maybe a bag of flour here. Fit in there. Can't tell if I'm oops. Got that. Let's go in here. Let's paste. Group. Get rid of this. I also downloaded Street Fighter 6. Nice. Playing a lot of that. Cool art, cool game. I admit I have not played a lot of 2D fighters and I'm pretty horrible at it. Alright, so I'm going to put a background color in here super quick, just a light gray, so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Whoops. So there's my info panel, and I see that I'm going to lose most of my pizza table, but that's all right. I think this is still okay. I can make it smaller and move this up and then maybe make the pizza a little smaller. I think I've populated the room nicely though. Don't really need much here. I could do little billowing clouds of flour. That could be fun. All right, let's hide this again. And I'm gonna get rid of this because I'll go in here and start actually coloring. But I think I'll probably end the stream there. I got this done, which was, honestly, this was my bare minimum goal. I wanted to get the line art for this done because I'm pretty far behind, about half a month behind. I usually update June 1. So I've been slacking on that. Next project is this. I gotta make these files, and the most time-consuming piece about this, which I can pull from these pins, is picking the Pantone colors and getting that figured out. But I already have these guys picked, so I could just use this. I actually might do that. And I gotta update the back stamp and but I've already have the art itself done. It's just making the Pantones and the mock-ups. All right, so this will be finished, hopefully. Yeah, I think I'd like to finish it tonight. I think that would be nice. Maybe you can scale it down. I'll play around with that. Definitely I could scale this down a little bit, maybe scale the pizza oven down a bit. I'm gonna put, I don't have line art on this side, but I will have the, it's not gonna disappear here. I'm gonna draw it completely, but it'll just be lineless silhouette. I'll adjust it around, and that's why I kept Tuxie how he is. I have a little bit more room to play with his legs, and of course I can always draw more, but I can just kind of condense it a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I will be back on Thursday and we will be drawing comics again, and I hope you'll join me again. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by today, especially those of you who are late at night. I do appreciate that. Your company in chat as always. Ashwin, Nova, Dee, let's see, who else we have here? I saw Kawhi Nickel, Omar, Sharon, I know you bounced, all my lurkers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.